Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. We are now just 1 week away from the WWE Royal Rumble pay-per-view event live on the WWE Network for just $9.99, in case you didn't know already. Got your questions from twitter.com/AaronRift regarding the Royal Rumble and other topics. Let's get started with the first one today, which comes from Israel. With AJ Styles most likely to appear at WrestleMania, who would you like to see him face at the big event? Please answer in video. I would be surprised if AJ Styles had a high-profile match at WrestleMania. I really hate to say that, but I am not getting my hopes up that he will be brought in and pushed straight to the top in WWE. I just don't sense that happening. I think it should. I think it would really generate a lot of buzz if WWE did something significant with AJ Styles. Even as going as far to have him win the world title in his debut match at the Royal Rumble. I think that that would be amazing, personally. But I do not see them doing that. As a matter of fact, if AJ Styles was to win the Royal Rumble, I would shave off this beard. Let's just put it that way. But I have no confidence that that is going to happen. But if AJ Styles did get a big push and was in the Royal Rumble and he did well and then he got a match at WrestleMania, I think he would do well with just about anybody. I'm not really sure who I would put him in there exactly. I think that realistically, you could put AJ Styles in there with anybody from Kevin Owens to Neville. Well, not Neville, but I would probably put him in there with somebody bigger than Neville. I'm not really sure who you would put AJ Styles with at this point. It's really hard to say. I got another question here from Kevin. What do you think about a possible dream match between Seth Rollins and AJ Styles at WrestleMania 32? Please answer in video. I'm thinking more along the lines of AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins as the type of high-profile match that would really elevate AJ Styles. But going back to earlier, realistically, it probably would not be AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins for a number of reasons. First of all, of course, Seth Rollins will not likely be back in time for WrestleMania. And I doubt that AJ Styles will be pushed strong enough to be put against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is a WWE main eventer now. But one day, that would be an ideal match. If WWE was to really take AJ Styles seriously and put him in there and elevate him to the next level, him against Seth Rollins would no doubt tear the house down. Will that match happen one day in WWE? It's possible. But WrestleMania, it's really being overly optimistic to say that that match is even a contender for WrestleMania. Maybe WrestleMania 33, who knows? And I got this question here from Connor. Please answer in video. I think Reigns should be destroying everyone as a heel. Then Seth Rollins returns and takes the belt. What do you think? I like the idea of Seth Rollins coming back as a babyface. That seems to make a lot of logical sense. I think fans are going to be missing the guy, and he will get a huge pop when he returns, just like Triple H did in 2002. Roman Reigns as a heel would make sense if he became the Authority's guy and Seth Rollins came back to get revenge on the guy that took his spot. That makes sense, but the problem is that WWE is building Roman Reigns as the face of the company. He's the new John Cena as far as WWE is concerned. And with John Cena being out with injury, that is going to make it even less likely that Roman Reigns will turn heel anytime soon, because WWE has no top babyface star to fall back on. If Cena was around, I think WWE might be willing to experiment with Reigns, but if they were going to turn Reigns, I think they would have done it already. Now that Reigns is the WWE champion as a babyface, I would be really surprised if he turned heel. But once again, if Roman Reigns turns heel, I will shave off the beard. If AJ Styles wins the Royal Rumble, I will shave off the beard. Hell, if Dean Ambrose turns heel, I will shave off the beard. None of those scenarios I can envision happening anytime soon, if ever. AJ Styles, of course, winning the Rumble is a one-time thing. in 2016, 2017. I would be surprised if AJ Styles ever won the Royal Rumble. Let's just put it that way. Alright, this one comes from Great Turbonian. What was the point of Callisto winning the US title when at the following SmackDown he dropped the title? I was just shaking my head when I read the SmackDown spoiler. I'm assuming WWE did it for a ratings ploy to get people tuning into SmackDown. They're hot potatoing the US title as a way to draw ratings for SmackDown and get people interested in what's going on between Callisto and Del Rio, trying to get people invested in that feud. I think it was a mistake. I wasn't a big fan of it happening. I think Callisto should have at least kept the title until the Royal Rumble if he was going to lose it back to Del Rio. As I mentioned in one of the recent videos, Del Rio wasn't exactly lighting the world on fire as the US champion, and I liked the idea of somebody new having the title and going in a different direction. Going back to Del Rio, in my opinion, it's just counterproductive, and it really did nothing. It accomplished nothing. And hot potatoing the title isn't the solution to getting either guy over, in my opinion. So, wasn't a big fan of it. If it was done for a ratings ploy, then whatever. WWE is going to do whatever it takes to try and make SmackDown a more important show. So if that's the case, then whatever. Alright, this one comes from Trent Swag 316. What do you think of the stipulation Ambrose versus Owens in a last man standing match for the IC title? Please answer in video, thanks. Honestly, I would have rather seen a Falls Count Anywhere match. I think those matches are more exciting to watch, and I think that with the Dean Ambrose character, the idea of him doing all sorts of crazy things when it's a Falls Count Anywhere match, to me that would have been more fun. Last man standing matches, to me they're hit and miss. Sometimes I find them to be boring. You know, one guy knocks the other guy down, he's down for a 9 count, he gets up, the other guy gets knocked down for a 9 count. It gets repetitive and old after a while. Sometimes they're really good matches, and sometimes they have really bad finishes where both guys get knocked out and neither guy makes the 10 count. I hate those finishes. So if there's a clear-cut winner at the Royal Rumble and it's a good match, then I'll be happy with it. But I would have preferred a Falls Count Anywhere match. Just my take, especially when they were brawling out in the crowd. You know, that seemed to indicate that they would have a Falls Count Anywhere match at the pay-per-view. But instead, they're doing Last Man Standing. Alright, this one comes from Chosen Boy. What have been your top legitimate surprises in the past 4 years? Alberto Del Rio's return is the only one that comes to mind. Let me do my math here because I'm not good at math, so that would be 2012 on. Easily, Undertaker's streak ending. That was really the biggest shocker, I think, since the CM Punk pipe bomb. To me, that was something that nobody saw coming. Nobody thought Brock Lesnar was beating The Undertaker. It was pretty much a given going into the match that Taker was going to win, and then the big shock of all shocks. You saw the fan at ringside with his reaction. That's how everybody was when that happened. So yeah, I would go with Undertaker's streak ending. And there really haven't been a whole lot of surprises. Sting coming back was a surprise, but it had already been leaked earlier in the day. There were a few other ones, but Undertaker and the streak ending, I mean, nobody saw that coming. There was no indication before the show that Brock Lesnar was going to beat the streak. Alright, this one comes from Burge. What do you think about the Wyatt family turning on Bray at the Royal Rumble and setting up heel Strowman versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania? I doubt Braun Strowman will be in that high profile of a match at WrestleMania. I just don't think that they are invested enough in that character. As I mentioned in a previous video, my guess is it will be Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar. Bray Wyatt's one of the top heels in the company, and Brock Lesnar should be going up against a major heel character. And then I could see Kevin Owens versus The Undertaker. You know, with Kevin Owens, there's a lot of possibilities with him. I mentioned AJ Styles earlier as a possibility. I've mentioned in the past Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, but it's WrestleMania, and Kevin Owens is one of the few top heels to go against Undertaker. So right now, if I had to make a prediction, I would say that it's Owens and Undertaker and Lesnar and Wyatt. Braun Strowman, I do not see him in a big match, and as I mentioned earlier, I would be shocked if AJ Styles had a big match. if any match at all at WrestleMania. So yeah, it's just a matter of, you have to look at who the top guys are. Bray Wyatt and Kevin Owens are the top heels, and one would think you put the top heels against the top faces at WrestleMania. You need to fill up this card with the biggest matches possible. Alright, this one comes from Steven East. Please answer in video. How would you compare the characters in WWE now to the ones in the late 80s and early 90s? Pros and cons for each. The characters in the late 80s and early 90s were very cartoonish. You look at guys like the Ultimate Warrior and the Big Boss Man. They're very colorful, over-the-top characters. Now they're more reality-based. Guys use their real names. It's different in a sense. I mean, they're still larger-than-life characters today. Guys like John Cena, even though he's using his real name, he's still a superhero-like character. And, you know, they're very much like comic book characters, not just then, but now. It's just that now they're a little bit more reality-based. Alright, this one comes from Juan Carlos Colon. Hey Aaron, do you think it would be a smart move for WWE to split the Dudley Boyz? Please answer in video. No, I don't think that it's a wise decision at this point. The Dudley Boyz have the most value as a tag team, and if you split them up, Devon's easily going to get lost in the shuffle, and perhaps WWE will reboot Bubba Ray and give him a similar character to Bully Ray in TNA, but at the same time, that was a TNA thing. Bully Ray was a TNA character, and we all know how WWE feels about creating or recreating characters from another promotion. I would be surprised if Bully Ray or a character similar to that got any kind of significant push in WWE. So the answer is no. I think it's best for the Dudleys to remain as a tag team. Alright, got this one from Josh Fuller. Do you think Luke Harper could be a monster heel in WWE, or is he not good enough on the mic? I think you would need to repackage the character. I think you would need to give him a new look and a new attitude, and I definitely feel he's talented as a wrestler, so maybe with the right character and being repackaged and all that, and the theme music and the entrance and the whole presentation, maybe he could do very well as a singles competitor, but he would need to change from his current character as part of the Wyatt family, in my opinion, to have a successful singles run. Alright, got this one here from Grant. What is your impression of Jason Jordan and Chad Gable? I feel they are one of the best teams that have been around lately. They're really solid. They're really solid wrestlers, and they're getting a lot of comparisons to the world's greatest tag team. So I do think in the short term on the main roster they would do very well because they're great wrestlers. Now, if they can develop great characters on the main roster over time, then, you know, there's definitely a lot of potential for those guys to go far. I mean, Shelton Benjamin broke off on his own and did well, and I think both guys, I think that they would do well as a tag team, and if they did well enough and developed their characters, then they could have great singles runs as well. But let's not rush things. I mean, look at Tyler Breeze. He was doing well in NXT, got on the main roster, and he's really doing nothing. So it's best to wait for the right time to bring them up to the main roster, in my opinion. It's still too soon, I think. But maybe after WrestleMania, that would be a possibility to have them debut as a tag team on the main roster. Alright, that'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the very latest regarding the Royal Rumble. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it on Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe if you haven't already at youtube.com/NoDQCAW, and I will see you guys next time.